I ask, just clearly, do you believe there's a connection between vaccines and autism? Do you believe there's a link?
Well, I don't look. Right now, you have some very brilliant people looking at it. I had dinner the other night with the head of Pfizer, the head of Eli Lilly, and RFK, as you know, and Oz. And
sorry, RFK? Isn't he dead?
We had...
you mean, Junior. Sure. All right, well, Jesus, I was like, did the Pfizer people offer you a pill when you kept introducing him as RFK?
And other people within the administration that are involved, the medical. And
yes, the people in the administration are involved in medical.
We're looking to find out. You know, if you look at autism, so 30 years ago I've heard numbers of like 1 in 200,000, 1 in 100,000. And now I'm hearing numbers of 1 in 100.
Yeah, because we used to categorize deaf kids as retarded. It was a catch-all.
So something's wrong.
Yeah, the categorization and autism and its the broad spectrum of autism, is the question. Good Lord.
There's something wrong, and we're going to find out about it.
What about the
Well, okay, but what are you going to find out? If vaccines had anything to do with it? They didn't. Multiple studies, they didn't. That's not what's causing it. So is that the only place you're going to look? You're just like, wow, the numbers of autism have just gone through the roof. Is it because of vaccines? We did a study. Nope, not. Oh, well then next. Would you just not give a shit about autism at that point? I guess just the thing. Probably just bad genes. Fuck them.
One more. Can I follow up on Robert Kennedy? He's on the Hill today. He's meeting with senators. What do you say to people who are worried that his views on vaccines will translate into policies that will make their kids less safe?
No, I think he's going to be much less radical than you would think. I think he's...
No. Yeah, but based on what? Are you going to tell him to be? You told him like he's going to run wild.
Got a very open mind, or I wouldn't have put him there. He's going to be very much less radical. But
why? Hold on. First of all, why would you put a radical in that position anyways? And why would you put a radical in there if you don't want radical change?
There are problems. I mean, we don't do as well as a lot of other nations, and those nations use nothing. And
whoa. Hold on. Does this asshole think that we have more illness in our country, like preventable illness, because we vaccinate for them, and other countries do better than us and don't vaccinate? Jesus.
We're going to find out what those problems are. And another thing.
Well, they aren't polio, for example. They're not measles or whooping cough.
They came up. The dinner was fascinating because they had.
Yeah, I bet. You just took notes the whole time.
Bobby had, again, the head of Pfizer. You know who that is. He's a.
Yeah, him. Tim Pfizer.
Highly respected man who.
Yeah, who has a name? Pfizer guy.
Who's run an incredible company. Likewise.
Yeah, called Phi something.
With Lilly, the top two people.
Yeah, Mr. Lilly and Mr. Pfizer.
And we had the head of the industry also. So all companies were represented. And I said, let's have it out.
Doesn't sound like it.
Out now a little bit. And you know what came out of that meeting is that we're paying far too much because we're paying much more than other countries.
For our vaccines?
And we have laws that make it impossible to reduce. And we have a thing called the middleman. You know the middleman, right?
Oh, yes. That's a great Living Color song.
The horrible middleman.
Oh, the horrible horror. The horror. I swallowed a bug.
That makes more money, frankly, than the drug companies. And
no, they don't.
They don't do anything except they're a middleman. We're going to knock out the middleman.
Also, what do you mean, pharmacists? The middleman.
Be very unpopular after that statement.
Mr. President.
I don't know who these middlemen are, but they are rich as hell.
Well, why don't you know then? If they're rich as hell, maybe, you know what? How about going table to table at Mar-a-Lago? You'll probably find one of these dopey motherfuckers. If they're richer than the pharmaceutical companies, They should be easy to spot. They probably walk around with a gold toilet seat as a necklace around their neck, and like they probably have a Ferrari on each foot.
And we're going to knock out the middlemen. We're going to get drug costs down at levels that nobody has ever seen before.
Certainly not the middlemen who are Bill Pfizer. You know who they are. Tell me, Gary Pfizer? James Pfizer. Phil Pfizer.
And that really, I tell you, we spent more time talking about that.
Oh, yeah, I bet they wanted to talk about that. It's almost as if you dough-headed motherfucker, you sat at a table with pharmaceutical CEOs and they drafted the conversation in the direction that helps them the most. Hey, you don't have to regulate our costs. It's not us. It's these middlemen. You cut them out. That's the price savings you're going after. And that doesn't affect us at all. What do you think? Shake, shake, excellent. Who are they? I have no idea. Go find them yourself.
With Bobby and with the executives and Oz, all of them, we spent more time talking about that than anything.
Yeah, you know why? Because that's what the fucking pharmaceutical companies that were sitting at the table wanted to talk about. What came from that? Holy shit. What is that? That is the pharmaceutical companies making a deal with him to keep all the money they've made, to not have to cut their costs, to not have to negotiate their prices, with the government for Medicare and Medicaid and that stuff. Just get rid of the middleman thing. That'll give you a cost saving right out of the fucking gate. And we won't have to lose a dime, and you won't have to get into a messy negotiation with us, and we won't have to talk about R&D and how you're trying to fucking sweep the leg when we're trying to develop drugs and all this stuff. These guys don't make anything, and they add an extra cost. It's not a lot, but it'll make a substantial thing, and you can claim victory because you've got these people out of the middle, and they don't even exist, and nobody likes them, and yet they're richer than everybody, and like Gary Middleman.
Can I ask a follow-up follow-up?
Thanks, sir, President.
Honest to God, horse shit. This is, but a great view into how easy to manipulate this dumb motherfucker is. And so I say to all the alleged liberal media, to all the good guys in business and elsewhere who are concerned about the next 4 years, here's what I would say to you. Find some way to have dinner with this dipshit and heap praise on him, and then start giving him tips on how he can look good that benefits you and sends this dipshit chasing a laser pointer in another direction, because it'll work, because he's fucking dumb.
Trump, what about the polio vaccine?
Well, I'm a big believer in it, and
Yeah, you don't have to believe in science. Just say it works.
I think everything should be looked at, but I'm a big believer in the polio vaccine, the Salk vaccine.
Do you think schools should mandate vaccines? Do you think schools should mandate vaccines?
I don't like mandates. I'm not a big mandate person, so I was against mandates. Mostly Democrat governors did the mandates, and they did a very.
Okay, fuck you. All schools have mandates for vaccines. What they mean is fucking COVID, and they got a bunch of fucking anti-vaxxer dickheads pushing back on this. And with RFK Jr. in there, they're going to eliminate these things, and we're going to have a fucking whooping cough or a measles outbreak that's going to kill a bunch of fucking kids, and they're going to go, whoops. It's like, who would have thought? Nobody would ever say, thought something like this would have happened.
Poor thing. In retrospect, they made a big mistake having to do with the education of children. They lost like a year or 2 years of their lives. The mandate was.
No, they didn't. They're still alive.
Was a bad thing. I was against the mandate.
And again, a mandate for a vaccine isn't the same thing as not going to school. And those shutdowns happened while he was president.
Is that something you want to?
14 days to stop the spread, extended for months.